Less than 3 months left to become a millionaire, or else I'm probably gonna have to go to college. I put $10,000 into Elongate. The video ended up getting 10 million views. Am I gonna lose all this money again? I was the owner of the house. I felt like a, freaking macho man. It says $1 million. This is how I went from broke to $2.8 million in under a year. To fully understand this story, we have to go back about 7 years when I was 14 years old. I lived in a small town in the middle of Massachusetts. Maybe 10,000 people lived here total. I was a super skinny dude. I'm talking skin and bones. It was really embarrassing, and I was pretty insecure about it, I'm not gonna lie. I did cross country after school, and during the winter I did track, so I was all around a pretty decent kid. I was also a very introverted kid, and I didn't really go out much, so that made me want to just play video games pretty much all day. Right after track practice, I'd go home and I'd play video games. It was just my therapy. It was my outlet. And I would play this one game, Ark Survival, and this game would change my life forever. It was the start of the journey, and it was so important. After hundreds of hours playing this game, I started to get pretty damn good. So I decided to upload a tutorial video for other players on YouTube. I think this was like June or July of 2017. I don't remember the exact date. When I posted it, it pretty much got no views. At the time, it was summer, so I was off from school and I just enjoyed my summer break. But then out of nowhere, towards the end of the summer, I checked back the YouTube video, and it's going viral. Now, I was freaking out because ever since I was a kid, I always wanted to be a YouTuber. That was my thing, and I never thought this video would go viral. I'm like, all right, you know what? We're just gonna post another video. Let's see if it goes viral too. And I kid you not, the second YouTube video starts going viral. So I started posting maybe a couple times a week, and the videos just kept getting views. And now I was eligible to start making money on those views. So of course, I turn on ad revenue. I wanna make some money. And after about a month of posting maybe a couple times a week, I get the first paycheck of $400, and I will never forget that day. I had just learned from a very early age that I am never gonna work for someone else. Like, I'm just gonna do my own thing and make money. After seeing that money from YouTube, my life changed forever. So now my days turned from going home and playing video games to now going home and recording a YouTube video, editing it the same night, and posting it. And I learned how to edit, how to do all this stuff just off of YouTube. It was super simple. Now, I kept doing this for months and months and months, and every paycheck that I got from YouTube, I was putting 90% of it straight into my savings account. Because at 15 years old, what do I need the damn money for? Like, what am I gonna buy? Shoes? I can't even get a car at 15. There was nothing to do. So I just saved all of it. Maybe 10% I kept, and that's what I used to spend when I was out with my friends. Now, 8 or 9 months later, I had posted hundreds of YouTube videos at this point. I'd maybe saved up, I don't know, $60,000, $70,000. I was doing pretty damn good for 15 years old. What happened next changed my life probably forever, and the experience that I gained, I still carry to this day. Maybe 8 to 9 months later, I get home from school. I record a YouTube video, I post it, and I'm about to go to bed, and I'm scrolling on YouTube. I see this YouTube video pop up, and it's about like this 16-year-old kid that just made a ton of money off of dropshipping, and the guy's name was Tanner Planes. Tanner, if you're watching, dude, you're a legend. And this guy changed my life, he really did. At the time, I wanted to start getting into other ways to make money because I knew that Ark Survival, this video game, wasn't gonna last forever. So I wanted to find new ways to make money. So I paid Tanner, I hopped on some calls with him. Tanner taught me how to build a website, how to find products to sell on your website, and even how to market your website. And this process was called dropshipping. Within a month, I started making like $1,000 in sales a day. It was really good, and I ended up making maybe 10, 20,000 in profit. It was really cool, and I learned a lot of skills. Like night vision goggles for hunters, and the profit margin is $100. I buy it for $200, sell it for $300. So at this point, I was 16 years old, ambitious, hungry. I wanted to make even more money. I was addicted to making money. And at that point, I had told myself, I think I have a shot here at becoming a millionaire. I'm gonna make that my goal. So I remember I wrote it down, $1 million, 1 million followers, and I want it to be jacked. I have 2 years to do this. By the time I'm 18, I will be a millionaire. I knew it was gonna happen, and I was gonna make it happen. I didn't know how I was gonna make it, but I was gonna make it. I didn't know how I was gonna get 1 million followers. I was gonna do it. I didn't know how I was gonna get jacked. I just was gonna do it. Now, around that time when I just turned 16, I set my goals. I was ready to go. My girlfriend at the time, she dumps me. It was really hard for me. I mean, she was my first girlfriend. At the time, she was my everything, you know? And it was, man, it was really tough, and it put me in a really dark spot. I became unmotivated. I became a little bit, not a little bit, I was really sad. We had been together for probably about a year, so losing her, I mean, I thought I was gonna marry that girl, so it was really tough for me, but, you know, kept on trucking. I used it as motivation, and it made me want to go to the gym even more.
Some people ask me why I started working out. And the reason why I started working out is because I got my heart broken. I needed something to fill that gap. I needed to get my mind off things.
For the past year, I'd been going to the gym on and off, not really taking it serious, so I'm like, you know what? We're going all in, man. We're taking this pain, this heartbreak straight to the gym. So I started going really hard. I'm talking every single day, 1 day a week of rest. But I mean, I'm tracking my calories. I'm drinking BCAAs, creatine, you name it. I'm going hard. So now that I'm working on the six pack, working on getting jacked, I'm like, you know what? Now let's try to make some more money. So I'm scrolling on Instagram one day and I see this advertisement for this guy named Nick Legend. He was pretty much like this trader and he did Forex trading. So I'm like, you know what? I have some money to invest. Let's give this a shot. So I buy his course. It was like $9. I go through the whole course. I'm like, wow, this is pretty cool. You know, this is awesome. So I started practicing Forex every day and I honestly was making good money. I mean, maybe 10, 20 grand. It was pretty solid. And I was showing the actual people over at the Trade Academy. That's what they called it. I was sending them my screenshots, sending them what I was doing. So one day they called me up and they're like, yo, Matt, you're killing it. We really want you to come out and meet Nick Legend in person in Los Angeles for a mentorship. Now, at the time, I mean, I had watched like hours of this guy's course videos. I was hyped. I wanted to meet the guy. I wanted to learn from him in person. And then they drop it. It's going to cost you, you know, tens of thousands of dollars. It was an experience. I was spending money on an experience and a mentorship. It was really difficult for me, but you know, I paid it. Next thing you know, I'm on a flight over to Los Angeles and I walk in, Nick Legend's there. It was so sick. Coolest experience of my life. Keep in mind, this guy is like a multi-millionaire, drives a BMW i8. He had a Hollywood Hills mansion. I mean, this guy was really killing it. He's hanging out with like big ballers. So to see him in person and learn from him and grow with him, it was just dope. And he took me out to dinner one night. It was so cool. We're making money while eating steak. He introduced me to some really cool people. It was just a great time overall. So I started trading. I kept going with it. And you know, next thing you know, maybe a couple weeks later, I'm seeing $300,000 in my account. And I don't know what it was insane. So now I'm balling, right? I'm seeing all this money in my account. I got money in my savings. I'm super hyped. So I go down to the store and I buy my first car. This is a Tesla Model S. I was so hyped. I felt like I was on top of the world, right? I'm getting jacked, six packs coming in, the breakup, who cares? That's in the past, you know, making all this money. I'm feeling like I'm on top of the world. I'm picking up girls. For a 16-year-old kid making hundreds of thousands of dollars driving a Tesla, I mean, the word started to get around. Pulling up to school in a Tesla, it was pretty cool. You know, it was sick. Around the same time, I just hit 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. Everything was going good, but what ended up happening next destroyed me. I'm talking, oh man, the most painful experience of my entire life. I got way too cocky and I thought I was just a genius. I'm just King Midas, golden touch. Everything I touch just turns to gold. Dropshipping, it kind of died down and I completely focused on trading. I was making hundreds of thousands, so that's what I wanted to focus on. I continued trading, but what I realized very quickly was I didn't actually know how to control my emotions. I mean, I was still a teenager. As I'm watching it go from like 200,000, 300,000, up to 350,000, I thought, I'm gonna become a millionaire. This is my shot. I'm gonna do it. $1 million at 16. It's gonna happen. Oh man, did I think wrong. I didn't actually take that money and put it in my bank. I kept it in my trading account, and that's where I messed up. I thought it was gonna go up forever. It didn't. I was trading Bitcoin at the time. Bitcoin was going crazy. It was skyrocketing. I thought it was gonna, you know, go to the moon, like they say. But out of nowhere, Bitcoin crashes. And because I had a leveraged trading account, essentially meaning the account was a lot more volatile. And it's possible for you to literally go to zero on the account. You can make money quicker, but you can also lose money quicker. So Bitcoin crashes and I lose almost all of my money. At this point, I'm freaking out. When you see your net worth just plummet, it's really difficult. I still had money saved, which was nice, but what I did next just made the situation even worse. I decided to put the money that I had saved into the trading account, and I was doing what was called revenge trading. I thought I could make the money back. I was being caught. I don't know, man. I thought I could make it back. I really did. So I kept putting the money in. Bitcoin kept crashing. I ended up losing my entire net worth. I'm talking less than $1,000 in my bank account, and I was in complete shock. I'm like, holy crap, I just spent 1.5 years growing a YouTube channel, saving all this money just for me to gamble it away on trading. Are you kidding me? I was in complete denial for probably a month. I didn't even realize what was going on. I mean, it all happened so fast. It was the lowest part of my life ever. I mean, I couldn't even cry, dude. I curled up in a ball in this exact bedroom, just on the floor. I couldn't even cry. I was just like dry heaving. I don't know. It was so bad. So I decided I'm going to sell the YouTube channel and I'm going to try to make some money back. So I sell my YouTube channel on like this third-party site. I took that money and I put it into the trading account. Oh my God, I've never told anyone this story. I was so embarrassed to talk about it, but I just kept putting the money that I had into that account. I don't know why. It was sucking me. It was like gambling, dude. Once again, I lost all the money. So now at this point, I'm down to less than $1,000. Everything I worked for gone. YouTube channel, I sold it. I have nothing. The only thing that I had was the knowledge that I had gained throughout the past 2 years. I mean, it was scary, man. At this point, I had just bought the Tesla. I had a car payment coming up. I am freaking terrified. So I go to my dad and I tell him what happened. And yeah, that was probably the toughest conversation I've ever had in my life. It was really hard. And I will never forget the words that my dad said. He looked at me and he said, "Matt, it's gonna be okay. Your mom and I, we're gonna try to find a way for you to get into a college. And, you know, she's working at a college now. Maybe you can get free tuition. It might work out." And when he was saying it, I zoned out. You know, college was the last thing I ever wanted to do. And if I just, at that moment, accepted my defeat, I would probably be in college right now, maybe senior year, and I would have regret for the rest of my life. I knew if I went to college and I gave up, it was it for me. You know, I'm going into a 9 to 5. That's what I would do. I'd, you know, go to the office every day, come home. And there's nothing wrong with that, but it's just, it wasn't meant for me. I knew, you know what? I'm not giving up. I'm gonna make this work. I'm gonna make this work. So I had a decision to make, and I decided I'm gonna use the knowledge that I have and I'm gonna make it happen. I didn't want to sell my car. I love that car, and it was kind of an ego thing. I almost felt embarrassed to sell it. So I said, okay, I need to make $800 a month just to pay this damn car. I'll figure it out. So I sat down, got my thoughts together, came up with a plan. I need to pay off the car, $800 a month, no problem. I need to make $1 million by 18. No problem. And I still need 1 million followers, and I need to be jacked. So I'm not giving up the gym. I kept going to the gym. How am I gonna make this money? Well, first, I'm gonna sell everything that I have. I sold shoes, laptops, pretty much everything that I had bought with the money that I had. And I probably got like 2 to 3 grand together. So now I had a little bit of money to work with. I was about to turn 17, and I knew I needed to make this last year the best year it could be. So I kept grinding for a couple months. I had saved up some money. I tried doing drop shipping. Some things were working, some weren't. I mean, I started a phone case business. Like, yeah, I was making good money, but I was reinvesting it all back into myself. You know, I was just believing in myself. I was learning more, courses, mentorships, all over the place, just spending all the money. And maybe at this point I was making between 5 to 10,000 a month, which for me, I'm not gonna get to 1 million like that. I needed to reinvest that money so I could figure out how the heck to become a millionaire. So a few months of grinding later, I end up getting a call from my boys. They wanna hang out. So I'm like, all right, boys, pull up, let's go have some fun. They pull up to my house, we're watching TV, just hanging out like boys do. And then they show me TikTok. I'm like, what the hell is this? And they start showing me, they're like, yo, look at this. It's so funny. Look at all these funny videos. I'm like, I'm not getting this. We're not doing this. Like, come on, Matt, you're a funny guy. Just give it a shot. So anyways, I start recording some super embarrassing videos with my friends. And these would be the first videos I ever made on TikTok.
It's Britney, bitch. Been there, done that, messed around. I'm having fun. Don't put me down. I'll never let you sweep me off my feet.
So I'm taking mental notes of this, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna come back to TikTok. But then out of nowhere, the most unexpected thing happened. And I remember I was in school, and on the loudspeaker, I hear, all right, students, for the next 2 weeks, you will not have school because of the coronavirus. I started getting really happy, I'm not gonna lie. It was at a very important moment of my life. I needed to lock in and grind. School was becoming a distraction for me. I started slipping on my grades. I went from A's and B's to C's and D's, and I was focusing completely on my business and making money. Around the same time that COVID was hitting, I decided I'm gonna go back and start posting on TikTok. I wanna show all these people how I'm making this money during COVID, because people are losing their jobs, they're just sitting at home. Why not show them how to make money? So I started posting TikToks about dropshipping. I taught them so many things that I had learned from Tanner way back in the day, and I was even showing them my profits, the money I was making. And out of nowhere, the videos started blowing up. I'm like, what the hell is going on? What I realized was I understood how to go viral from YouTube back in the day. I had learned it. It was actually really easy compared to YouTube. TikTok was like a piece of cake.
What's up, guys? I'm gonna show you a few tips that all teenagers need to know. So guys, there's 3 different sources of income: passive income, active income, and portfolio income.
So I started posting videos all the time. I was growing my audience. I got to 100,000 within like the first month. It was so fun. It was awesome. And at the same time, I start grinding. I feel the momentum coming. I'm making money off dropshipping. And I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna get an office. So me and my boy, Charlie, we end up renting this office in town, and we had such a blast. At this point, we have less than a year until my 18th birthday. So I needed to grind. in that office every single day, making money, making YouTube videos, TikToks. I just started going hard. I did everything I could. I used all the skills, but the only thing I did not do was trading. I was so traumatized from trading. I didn't want to touch it. I wanted to do what I knew worked, make money on social media and make money with dropshipping. You know, it was just a good time. You know, it was during the process. Fast forward a few months later, I'm almost at 1 million followers. I'm like, yo, what if I started posting dropshipping videos on my TikTok? What if I somehow made a banger video that went viral and I pushed all the people to buy a product on my dropshipping store? So I find a product, it's LED lights that can change into a bunch of different colors. I make a website for it and I record a banger TikTok. I post the TikTok and I kid you not, it gets 6 million views. I'm sitting there just, oh my gosh, let's go. I mean, at this point, I maybe had saved up 20, 30 grand. So when that video gets 6 million views, I'm looking at my Shopify store. I'm seeing tens of thousands of dollars in sales. So I'm like, you know what? This is working. I'm gonna do a part 2, a part 3, a part 4. I posted a couple videos on this thing, all of them getting millions of views. In total, I probably racked in $40,000 to $50,000 in profit. I'm freaking out. I'm like, wow, the momentum's here. Finally making some money. My net worth was coming up on 100,000 at this point. I'm like, wow. Here's the thing. I had less than 3 months left until my 18th birthday. The pressure was on. I'm like, holy crap. Are we gonna hit all of these goals? The 3 goals: jacked, $1 million, million followers. Is it gonna happen? Now around this time, I was grinding on my TikTok page almost every day and I finally hit 1 million followers. I remember I was live streaming when it happened. It's a huge moment for me. 1 out of the 3 of the goals were completed and there was about 3 months left until my 18th birthday. And then one day, out of nowhere, I see a video of this guy on TikTok make like $10,000 off of a meme coin. We're talking cryptocurrency. He put some money into a crypto. It made him like 10 grand. He's all hyped up. I start buying some courses. I look into crypto. I'm like, are you kidding me? This is trading. This is just simply trading. It has a chart and everything. I know how to do this. So I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try it with a couple $1,000. I put it into a crypto called SafeMoon and I see maybe 10 grand in profit. And within a couple days, it was crazy. This is how I'm gonna make $1 million. Let's do it. So I'm thinking this is my last shot. This is my Hail Mary. I have less than 3 months left to become a millionaire, or else I'm probably gonna have to go to college. My parents would not let me skip college if I didn't have a good amount of money. And you know, I have an Asian mom, so we're talking like $1 million I would need to skip college. So I decided I'm not gonna make the same mistake as last time. I'm gonna put half of my money away and I'm never gonna touch it. And it's just gonna stay there. The other half, which is probably, I don't know, $30,000 to $40,000, I'm gonna put it into crypto. We're gonna give this a shot. So I start researching, I'm looking for cryptos, I put it into SafeMoon, a couple others. Some cryptos I'd lose 10,000 and some cryptos I'd make 10,000. Then one day, Elon Musk, he tweets, if there's ever a scandal about me, please call it Elon Gate. I literally have it memorized. I'm not even looking at anything right now. that tweet changed my life forever. And then later that day, I see a crypto literally named Elon Gate. I'm like, holy crap, this is genius. So I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna throw some money in. I put $10,000 into Elon Gate and holy crap, I was so terrified. I'm like, yo, listen, we got less than 2 months at this point. I need to become a millionaire. We're gonna figure this out. I invest in the crypto and for the first day or two, nothing really happens. It's not moving up, it's not moving down. I'm like, what the hell? So I go onto a brand new TikTok page and I post a video. That video talked about Elon Gate. It's talking about how cool it is, how crypto's popping off. The video ended up getting 10 million views. It was crazy. And all of the people on TikTok flooded over. People started getting into Elon Gate. It was crazy. And the Elon Gate team was probably half a dozen people. I'm talking professionals. So these guys, they took that momentum from the start and they started really taking the crypto seriously. But that TikTok video was the start. It boosted that crypto so that these guys could really push it to the max it could go. So about a week after the video is posted, I look at my account and I'm at like $100,000. I'm like, holy shit. Wow. We're not at 1 million, but this is really good so far. We're making good money. I'm the highest that I've been in years. So I decide to keep the money in. I'm still careful. I don't want to mess it up. About a week goes by. I look at the account, $250,000. I'm back up to the point that I was at before. I'm like, holy crap. So I go to my dad and I show him. He looks at me and he goes, Matt, you have to sell it. You have to take the money and you have to walk away. Remember what happened last time, Matt. This is the part where you lost your money before. Don't make the same mistake again. That night I went to bed and I sat there staring at the top of my ceiling, thinking about the situation that happened before. Am I going to let myself make the same mistake? Am I going to lose all this money again? It was a really hard night for me. and it was a hard decision, but I decided to keep the money in. I believe in Elon Musk. He has a lot of power, and this was a meme coin about Elon Musk. I believed he was going to keep going. I kept the money in, and every single day I'm checking this, right? I'm pretty much addicted to my phone. I'm not leaving my house. I'm just sitting inside, just waiting to see what's going to happen. One day I wake up and I look at my phone. I look at my phone and I pull up my trading account and it says $1 million. It was the goal that I had set years ago that I had almost given up on. I had done it. It was April 19th of 2021. We're talking 32 days away from my birthday. 32 days away from my 18th birthday, I had become a millionaire. So I walk upstairs to my dad. He was in the attic doing something, and I'm like, "Hey, Dad, look at this." And I show him my phone. He was in complete shock. He thought it was like, he didn't even know. He didn't think it was fake, but he didn't think it was real. He's like, "There's no way." And when I showed him, I refreshed it, and I showed him how it's real money, he started losing it. He was so proud. It was a very emotional moment. I was so just ecstatic. And then he looked at me. He's like, "Matt, you better sell it this time." So I look at my dad and I'm like, "Dad, listen, I'm just going to keep it in for a couple more days. All right, the momentum's there. It's, you know, technical analysis wise, it looks like it's going to keep going." So I go to bed and I wake up the next morning. It's April 20th. I'm looking at my account, $2 million. I mean, at this point, I had already hit the goal. Now I just doubled my goal within a day. I was in complete shock. I didn't believe it. It was crazy. It was so crazy. I don't know. So then I go to bed again, and I think it was the next day or a couple days later, I open the account, and it's at almost $3 million. I had reached my goal, so I started pulling out hundreds of thousands of dollars, making sure I wasn't doing it all at once. So I was slowly, over the period of the next couple weeks to a month, pulling out the money, and yeah, I cleared millions of dollars. It was a great moment in my life. And Elongate, they went on to donate millions of dollars to children's charity. It was incredible. They really made a big impact on the world. That crypto really did change a lot of people's lives, including mine. So now it's a month before my birthday. I have 1 million followers, $1 million. So I look in the mirror. I had the six-pack I wanted. I was nice and lean. I had reached everything that I had always dreamt of. And I was still technically a minor. I wasn't even 18 yet. So now it was time for me to really, get my dream car. I drive over to the dealership, and on my 18th birthday, I purchased my dream car, a brand new 2020 Corvette C8. It was the top of the line 3-liter, if you know anything about those. It was like the best that you could get at the time. I think I paid like $110,000, $120,000 in cash for it. Around that same time, I decided, you know what? I want a dog. I always wanted one. I love dogs. So I got a husky. This is my boy. He's right here. He's chilling next to me. Yeah, that's my brother. He's my best friend for life. At this point, I have everything that I've ever wanted. I was with my girlfriend at the time. I had 2 cars. I was really happy about the way that I looked in the mirror. And overall, I'm just happy in life. I reached all my goals, man. I mean, I'd been grinding so hard, so I started to relax a bit. So I started looking into some penthouses. And I didn't want to buy one yet. My credit, literally, I just turned 18, so I don't think I'd be approved for anything unless I bought it in cash. So I called this one spot. Listen, we have one penthouse. It's floor 49. Right? And I'm like, holy crap, that sounds sick. In the middle of Miami, that was my dream. I always wanted to go to Miami. So he says, hey, it's $9,000 a month. I'm like, all right, no problem. I'll pay it. He's like, but here's the thing. You're 18 years old. There's no way you can pay this. I'm like, yeah, no, I can pay it. I can do it. The only way that we're going to accept you to come to this apartment is if you pay it all in cash up front. 1 year. I really wanted to get into that penthouse. I mean, that thing, it's like with 2 of my best friends moving in at 18 years old, driving my dream cars with my dog, my girlfriend in Miami. Come on, this is gonna be sick. So I call him up, I'm like, sure, I'll pay it all in cash up front. About a week later, we moved in, and oh man, one of the best experiences of my life. Now here is the craziest part that I did not expect at all. So I'm checking my email one day and I see an email from CNBC, like the actual news company. You've probably heard of them. Essentially, they wanted to put me in one of their documentaries about people that made a ton of money off of crypto and sports gambling and stuff like that. I'm like, sure, yeah, no problem. Pull up to my house. I didn't think it was that serious until I saw the camera crew. Like, we're talking like top of the line. This was actual news. And then I realized this is serious. So they did a whole documentary on me. I met Melissa Lee, if you guys know her from CNBC. It was so cool. They talked about me and my life. They interviewed some of my roommates. It was just an awesome time. They talked about my car, my story, how much money I made, how I did it. It was just a great time overall. And at this point, I was on freaking live television for my story. That really sealed the deal. And it just made me feel like I was being recognized for what I did. For the next couple weeks, people were noticing me all around the streets, in the apartment I was in, everywhere. It was really freaking cool. I was excited. I wanted to live the Miami life, so I started hosting parties. All the people from Miami, the college, they would come over and we'd have a great time. I'd meet new people, meet new guys, meet new girls. I mean, I was the owner of the house. I felt like a, freaking macho man.
I don't care about your man. I don't give a fuck.
The actual amenities at the apartment complex were insane. There were like 5 pools total. And what's interesting is this place has the most amenities in the world. So we're talking tennis courts, game rooms, pool, freaking hot tubs, saunas, massages, everything. Oh my God, it was crazy. It was so wild, they literally had a grocery store inside of the building. It was so funny. They had valet service, so kind of like GTA, I could click a couple buttons on my phone and my car would just appear in the valet and I would just go down and grab it. It was cool. And I could choose what car. Did I want the Corvette today or the Tesla? Like, oh my gosh, that year was the best year of my life. I mean, every weekend we were going to clubs, getting VIP tables, popping bottles, having parties, going to the beach late at night, just doing Miami stuff, man. Me and my roommates were living at the top of Miami. I was trying brand new things because I had so much money, I didn't know what to do with it. I mean, I'm going skydiving, I'm buying boats, I'm going jet skiing, I'm going scuba diving, I'm doing everything, man. And the clubs, honestly, were probably my favorite part. I started realizing that, money doesn't buy me happiness. All those things that I was doing, it wasn't because of the money. It was because of the people that I was with at the time. The parties, it was only fun because there were people there. The clubs, it's only fun because there's other people. And when I stopped going out with my friends because they moved out, I mean, I got really lonely. And I realized, there's no point in being a millionaire if you don't have people around you that you truly love and can spend that money with them. Now fast forward to last year, 2023, I realized, holy crap, I can show people how to do this. So I started a community called TikTok Mastery. I'm starting to find myself. This is who I am. I want to teach people how to do what I did before. Make money from TikTok. And you can do whatever you want with that money. When I made my money from TikTok selling those lights, I put it into crypto and it made me a millionaire. I don't know what you're going to do with it. But all I'm saying is my story started with TikTok. And for any of you that is struggling, you have your goals and you don't know if you're going to make it. If you're reset to 0 5 times, it does not matter. Keep going and never give up on yourself. The moment that you give up on yourself is the moment that you have 0 chance of ever reaching those goals. The only way you're going to reach it is if you keep going. You're going to have ups, you're going to have downs, you're going to have times when you're depressed, times when you're super happy, but keep going because life, it all comes in seasons. You're going to have good seasons and bad seasons, but if you give up on those bad seasons, you will never see the potential of what you could have been. So please, for your own good, do not give up. That's the only thing. Just keep going. That's it. It's simple. We don't need to overcomplicate it. Just keep going. That's it. And one day, it could be a month, it could be a year, it could be 3 years, you will have reached your goals. So keep going. I believe in you. Peace, peace.